He got started in the business. He was living in a small little island July 9th. He kept saying, I'm gonna go to America. I'm going to America. July 9th of 2002, he jumped on the first time ever been on a plane, flew to America, came to the East Coast, landed, got a job at Applebee's, thought he could make more money. And when he saw the network marketing aspect of ATN, which made a lot of sense, got started at the young age of 20. At 28, he was, he was already, let's just say 8 years in the business. His birthday was March the 6th. He just turned 29. As a regional vice president platinum, he will be the youngest SVP in the company. He's already stated that, and he's working very hard to get that happening. And our topic for the month is the guide to building a successful MLM business. Without further ado, can we give a good hand to Mr. Regional Vice President Platinum, Mr. Shakeel Cooper?
Thank you. Thank you for all of those kind words. I'm excited to be back. Again, thank you guys for having me. For the people on the call who don't know who I am, my name is Shakeel Cooper. I'm currently 29 years old. Got started in this opportunity. No business background, knew nothing about business, but when I did see the opportunity, I was open-minded to earning some extra income to take care of school at the time. I was also working full-time at a restaurant called Applebee's. When a friend of mine said, hey, you open to making some money? I said, sure. Saw the information, got started on the spot. A few weeks later, decided to go full-time. Haven't had to punch a clock since November 2013. And I've just been a full-time entrepreneur since then. And what I love about this opportunity is that they put together a system in place where someone like myself with no business background can get involved in the business and have massive success today. I have an organization, thousands of business partners, get paid on close to 10,000 customers every single month, but I owe all of that success to the training and the system that have been put in place. So if you're not taking notes, I put together a training today to share some information with you guys that can help you guys take your business to the next level. So if you're not taking notes, I suggest that you get a pen and you get ready. So what I'm going to do right now is share my screen, and we're going to go straight into the information. So number one, if you're taking notes, we all need training and we all need support. We all do. So if you're writing down notes, I want you to write down, we all need training and we all need support. One of the great benefits of network marketing is that even though you're in business for yourself, you're never in business by yourself. And that's one of the best things I loved about this business, that throughout the journey, I never been by myself. I had the opportunity to have mentors. I had sideline mentors, but more importantly, the company itself has put together training events that we already put in place. All we have to do is plug into the events. And when I tell people is that the more events that you plug into, the more money you're going to make. So up until COVID started, I've been to every single event that ATN have had, literally every single event. I've never missed a convention. I think the last event that we just went to in Oklahoma, I think that was my 30th convention. So I've been to almost 30 events. See, this is the longest thing that I've ever done in my life. But what they told me is that you want to get great in this business, you got to be at the training events. You got to have your team at the training events. I even had one of my business partners move to Dallas, Texas. One of my RVPs currently living right now in Dallas, Texas, because Texas is right now is where a lot of the momentum is coming out of. So what I understood was that I have to get my people into the trainings in order to keep things going. I think it was last week, my business partners, they had a BOM. It was a few hundred people out here. And guess what? They're running their own training events. Because if you're not plugging into training events or having your own training events, what you're doing is you're holding yourself back from really getting to where you need to go right now. See, you can still get to where you're trying to go, but it's going to take you longer. It's kind of like me telling you, if I told you to go from Texas to New York and I give you a bicycle or I give you a Corvette, which one would you rather take, the bicycle or the Corvette? See, doing it your own way is taking the bicycle. But if you got a Corvette and a credit card with unlimited gas, you'll get to Texas to New York in no time. So that's what I love about this business, because it's a training event that has already been put in place for you to win. So again, very few people starting up a traditional business, think about it, right? The average business owner, right? They never had the opportunity to work with someone who's going to help them get started and hold their hand in their early days. Just think about the mom and pop shop. Do you think anyone came to them and sat down with them and coached them along the way? No. Most of the time, most of those people are owned by their business. The reason why, because they had to learn everything firsthand. They had to make the mistakes. They had to go through everything firsthand because they didn't have a mentor or someone there throughout the entire process. But in network marketing, we have so much help that sometimes what it does is it hinders people because you have and it's funny that I just said that, right? And I want you to think about this, right? Think about it. Why do most people that come from other countries and come to America, in a few years, they become successful? Why? Because where they're coming from, there's not too many opportunities. But we can agree, America is the land of opportunities. So if this don't work out for you, you got 150,000 different things that you can go do because guess what? There's too many opportunities in America. You can go drive Uber. You can go drive Lyft. You can go deliver pizza on the weekend if you wanted to. There's so many ways to make money, but when you deal with people that have the mindset where they're coming from a place where there's not too many opportunities, once we see an opportunity, we just take it for the advantage and go ahead and just blow up. It's just what it is. I wasn't born in America, so my entire mindset is I don't have a scarcity mindset in America. I believe that I can do anything. I believe that I can be a multi-millionaire before I'm 30 years old. Why? Because we're in America. See, you have to have that mindset. Anything that is possible in America because you can't go to China and do it. You can't go to any other country across the world and do it. Why do you think everybody always want to do what? Come to America. People don't wake up tomorrow and say, man, I want to move to Vietnam. No, they said, I want to come to America. So we already live in a land of opportunity. We just got to take advantage of the opportunity that we do have. These are the 4 different ways of learning, right? Because by going to these events, your ultimate goal is to learn. So the first way is trial and error. Try for yourself. Listen, you always want to do trial and error because sometimes, I tell people this all the time, if you don't try for yourself, you will never know. It's like basically someone asking me to ride a bike for them. Listen, me riding a bike is not going to benefit you. You actually have to get on a bike yourself and try to ride the bike yourself. That's trial and error. Just think about it. Once you learn how to ride a bike, did you ever have to be taught how to ride a bike again? No. Same with driving. Once you learn how to drive, some of y'all know how to text, drive, talk, eat, and do videos on Instagram at the same time, right? So, but just think about it. When you first started, it was trial and error. Then number 2, being told, direct instruction or written. So some people learn by other people telling them what to do, and that's great. Then there's imitation, copying actions of another person. And this is kind of how most kids are. Even though some adults are the same way, they never kind of grow up. But just think about it. We live in a world today where people just copy people. So most of the ways that the average person learns today is pure imitation. They just learn from other people, right? And then number 4, thinking about a topic or problem to reach an explanation or a solution. So these are the 4 different ways of learning. But what I would tell you is that you can learn great from every one of these ways because there's some people that I imitated their actions. I learned from them. I said, oh, this person is sharp on the stage. I like how this person dress. I like how this person talk. I like how this person do business. So I've imitated some people before, but you always gotta be sure about the person that you're imitating, right? Because you don't want to never imitate the wrong person, right? And why these events are so important because you get trained in there. You get a chance, you can start teaching your team. You gain the knowledge. You gain the skill. You gain the experience. And more importantly, you gain the development. And together, you're just learning. I tell people all the time, I look at network marketing as a university. The difference is that I can get paid before I graduate. Just think about it, right? You can get paid before you graduate. What if you went to college and they told you while you're in college, you can get paid? Everybody will go to college. But the reason most people don't because they got to make money right now. For most, it is a very much case of learn as you go and trial and error with very little training and support available. And that's just how the average business owner, their life story is. They had to go through a lot of trial and error. But you guys are so blessed that you have all of these calls. You have everything in position for you to win, where you don't have to go through too many trial and error. All you got to do is just follow a simple system and plug in. Because if you plug into the system, it works. Listen, the reason why I know the system works because it works for me. And I'm nobody special. I don't care how great people talk about me. I'm nobody special. If I can do it, anybody can do it because I'm just a hustler. I just figure out, listen, if all I got to do is talk to money, grow as a person, look good, and just develop myself, and people want to follow me, how hard is that? I tell people, listen, if you graduated from college, you can do this because you can't pay me to graduate from college. I'm just not that person to study, do homework, and things like that. So if you can graduate college, but you have a hard time talking to people, it's not really the opportunity that you got to question. You really got to question yourself. Because some of you guys on this call, you have multiple degrees. You have high career jobs, but it's very difficult for you to do something as far as opening your mouth and just sharing the opportunity. It never made sense to me. When people said, man, this is hard. What is hard? Talking to people? Look at your phone. How many people you talk to every single day? So your problem is not you're scared to talk to people, is that you just don't believe in what you got going on. So again, it all goes back to you. It's all your belief level. Listen, if you don't believe in something, you're not going to talk to somebody with enough confidence to make them believe in what you got going on. It's kind of like telling someone your dream. Not everyone's going to believe in your dream, but you will have a few people, because you believe in your dream so much, they like, man, this person been talking about this forever. Hey, I believe him. I got some family members, when they see me, man, they like, man, I already know you're going to be successful. It was like, you always had it in you. But then there's some family members where it's like, who he think he is. So again, no matter what you're doing in life, you're always going to have people, right? So network marketing, it provides a great training support mechanism, which unfortunately is often never really utilized enough. It's so much training. Listen, I was a student. When I tell you, when I got involved in the business, the reason why I got good so fast because I was 100% in. This was it. I dropped out of college. I stopped going to work. Listen, I had no other choice but to make it work. I'm not telling you to do the same thing, but what if you had that same mindset where it basically is this. You said you're going to do something, you just do it. And that's just been me all my life. Like, I'm nobody special, but if I say I'm going to do something, best believe I'm going to do it. I told people since I got started in business, I will be the youngest senior vice president. It don't matter how long it takes me. It don't matter what happens. Listen, and still to this day, I'm still on track to becoming one of the top youngest senior vice presidents, and it's going to happen. And it's not going to happen when you want it to happen. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. See, when I stopped rushing things and I started just focusing on the things that I can control, is when everything started to change for me. It's when my mindset changed, because instead of just trying to force something, you know what I said? I'm going to work my business, but more importantly, I'm going to work on myself until I become that person so the paperwork can catch up. You want to plug into the support system, right? If there's a support system in place, which it is, the smartest move you can make is to plug into it as soon as possible. One of the many benefits of network marketing is the ability to tap into the resources provided by the years of experience and knowledge accumulated by those who have done what you're about to set out to do. So again, you don't have to recreate the wheel. The system has already been put in place. And for so many times when I try to tell people it's a system, nobody's special. Plug into the system. Because until you plug into the system, you're never going to find yourself saving yourself time, energy, and money. That's what you will be sacrificing. So if you're not using a system, I can tell you right now that you have been sacrificing a lot of time, a lot of energy, and probably a lot of money, and just stuck running the same. It's like a hamster on a wheel. You're running fast, but you're going nowhere. And you feel as though, man, I feel like I've been doing everything. But no, have you really plugged into the system? Have you bought into the system? Because you can't teach other people to buy into a system unless you're in the system yourself. So again, plug into the support system. Just do it, and I promise you everything will change for you. See, those are the people that have businesses that continue to grow without them. See, if my business is based off of me, then I can only manage it to a certain point. But once I took it off of me, listen, you're only going to be successful if you work with me. No, you will be successful if you work with the system. So I took the success off of me and I said, man, it's a system. I just follow the system. I downplay my success because you want everyone to feel like they can do it too. Because the reality is they can do it. But some people don't believe in themselves long enough to really believe that they can actually do it. So again, you have to have the mindset where if I'm going to build this business, I'm only building this business system driven. It's the only way you're going to win long term. It's the only way you're going to wake up one day and you're going to have some type of time freedom where if you didn't work that week, a direct deposit still hits your bank account. Don't you want to be able to wake up multiple weeks where if you worked or if you didn't work, a check still came? Listen, it don't matter the amount of the check. The fact that if you worked that week prior, you still got a check. You can't put a price on that feeling because the average person, they got to get up every single day and they got to go to work for that same amount of money. You have been able now to get that time back, right? The support system gives you access. It gives you access to knowledge and experience, resulting in a steeper learning curve while you build your own business, right? Support systems are the university of network marketing. Let me repeat this one more time. Support systems are the university of network marketing. Again, if you're doing this business, just look at it as you're in school. But the difference between this school and other schools is that you can make money while you learn. So that way, if you're just looking at it while you're going to school, just think about it. You're not rushing it because you know that, listen, you can't be a freshman and graduate college. It don't work like that. We know that it takes steps. You got to learn certain things. You got to pass certain tests and things like that, right? So again, look at network marketing the same way. And I promise you, it's not going to stress you out while you're on your journey, right? And just as we attend a university to obtain a degree that enables us to practice a particular profession, so that we must understand that if we wish to build a network marketing business and achieve financial independence, we need to attend a university to learn how to do it. You have to learn before you earn. It's just what it is. You never want to be that person that become a millionaire and don't know how you became a millionaire. Because I promise you, you won't be one for too long. And if you think I'm lying, go look at the show. I think it's on TLC, where the people became millionaires and like a year or two later, they went broke again. They won $10 million. And guess what? They broke the next year. Why? Because they didn't have the right mindset. And that's why I tell people all the time, listen, giving people money is not going to solve their problems. People got to change their mindsets. They got to change their habits. They got to change the way they think. They got to change what they eat. They got to change who they hang around. They got to change a lot of different things. Money is not going to change all your problems. Because there's some people you can give them a lot of money and it's just going to create more problems for them. So again, you want to be the right person so when that money do come, you'll be able to know what to do with it and to be able to keep it going, right? You never want to be that person that just got lucky. Because guess what? You can create your own luck. And you can keep it going over and over again, but guess what? You're going to have to work, right? And just, this is, I talked about the system, right? You want to systemize your business wherever you can. One of the great benefits of working in a franchise industry, right? Just think about it, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's. Just think about any type of franchise, right? What is the most important thing about those franchises? It's the system. McDonald's food is disgusting. I would never eat McDonald's. But guess what? If I had McDonald's money, I would own one. And the reason why, because they got the best system when it comes to the fast food restaurant. Listen, if you've ever seen a McDonald's, right, 9 out of 10 is in the same location since they started at McDonald's. There's not too many times where you see a McDonald's and it closed down and then they move to another location. No. They might knock it down and they rebuild it, but guess what? They stay in that same location. Why? Because location is part of their system. Every McDonald's is always next to a main street. Every McDonald's is always right next to not a stop sign, but it's right next to a red light. Why? Because they know people are going to stop. And when you see that yellow arch, guess what? You become hungry. Do you understand that McDonald's, that when you purchase a McDonald's, you can't go out there and turn the arch green? No, it's a system. You got to keep it yellow. Why? Because when you see yellow and red and you see food, guess what happens? You become hungry. It's part of that system. So the colors of fast food is normally yellow, red, or orange. And when you see it, it makes you hungry. That's why you see KFC, all of these places, Taco Bell, all of them around the same colors. Why? Because it's part of their system. So these companies that we shop at every single day have systems in place. Why would we not want to create a system where we can start making money like the big corporation? Because you don't know Mr. McDonald. You don't know these people. You don't know the owner at Walmart is not there, Target is not there. But guess what? What do they have? They have a franchise system. Every successful business have a system. Because if you have a system, guess what happens? The people at the top, they save that stuff a lot of time, energy, and money. And guess what happens? The business keeps going. So if you want that type of lifestyle, guess what you got to put in your business? A system. You got to take it away from you, right? So again, when someone buys a franchise, they're mainly paying the right to buy into a proven system that works. That's all people are doing. They know it's proven. That's why they're willing to spend $200,000, millions of dollars to purchase a McDonald's. So again, network marketing also provides the same type of benefits. So by it providing the same type of benefits, the support system is a proven operation that has been perfected over many years. You want to move out your comfort zone, right? Becoming involved in network marketing will require you to learn and do things, right, that you may not have done before. Like all things, right? This will mean moving out of your comfort zone. You got to get uncomfortable. This can be quite challenging, but it can mean the difference between success and failure. I had to get uncomfortable because I don't like being comfortable because I'm only 29 years old. What's the point of being comfortable? I still have a lot more to accomplish. See, I'm the person whereas though I want to sacrifice my 20s and my 30s. So by the time I'm 40 years old and I'm still looking like I'm 20, I can live the rest of my life with my feet up traveling the beach of the world because I know I put the time in. I want to retire at 40. That's my goal. It was really 35, but I loved helping people so much that I give them another 5 years. But my ultimate goal is to retire in the next 11 years. I'm not going to wait until 65 years old. I'm in a wheelchair. And no, I want to retire while I'm young. And the only way it's going to happen is by me putting myself in uncomfortable situations so that I'm not just stuck doing the same things that the average person is doing to live the average life. I don't want to wake up and go to a 9-to-5 that I don't like just to pay bills. I'm not bashing anyone that's doing that, but that's not living life. We can agree that you really don't like doing that, but you have to do it because you got to pay the bills. But don't you want to wake up one day and just do the things that you want to do because you want to do it? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to say, man, I just worked my whole life. I know a lot of people, they just worked until they couldn't work no more. And then they sit in the house all day and they do nothing. I don't want that for me. I'm sorry. So again, it don't have to happen just through network marketing because I'm talking about in life. But network marketing can be that vehicle that can get you there. Why? Because it did for me. It changed my mindset. It taught me that, man, if you can do this, you can do anything. But to be successful in any endeavor, it requires moving out of your comfort zone. It is not just restricted to network marketing. So when I do these calls, I'm not just always talking about specifically network marketing. I'm talking about life. Because guess what network marketing is? Life. What we do in network marketing is what we do every single day. If you work a job, you're either selling a product or service for a company. You're already doing it. You just don't get paid when other people do it. Which one sounds better to you? You keep doing all the work by yourself, or you learn how to get a percentage off of other people's effort. Because I tell people all the time, 1% of a big number is still a big number. Because at the end of the day, I didn't have to do the work. So again, move out your comfort zone, because if you don't, you're not going to get to where you need to go. And quite often, your personal growth and your financial situation, like I tell people all the time, it's in direct proportion to the size of your comfort zone. Your potential to grow both personally and financially is governed by your ability to consistently step outside of that zone. By stepping outside of your comfort zone, we simply means doing the things that you feel uncomfortable with or that you find challenging, right? Once you have done that often enough, they become comfortable and you have created a new and large comfort zone. Because your personal growth and finances are tied to this zone, every time you step outside it and you create a new one, you are also expanding your personal and financial potential. So every time you feel as though you got to go through a growth period in your life between personal and finances, I tell people all the time, just do what's uncomfortable. Just do what's uncomfortable. Because if you stay comfortable, you'll never grow. You only grow, because I tell people all the time, listen, if you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up. You can either stay there or you can either get back up. The choice is yours. But again, you want to always grow your personal growth, and it will in time grow your financial growth, because it's all tied together. You don't want to be that person that don't have any type of personal growth and have a lot of money because you'll lose it, and you don't. It don't even make sense. I don't even want money if I don't have the right mindset to keep it. So many people, they're so in a rush to one thing that they're not even ready for. You're ready for that big A player to get involved in your business, but if you're not that right person to lead them to where you're trying to get to go, you're never going to get the best potential out of them. So again, you got to focus on growth. And if you find yourself having to step outside your comfort zone, just get excited. Listen, it's not hard to get excited. Just smile. Most people don't even smile. Do you know that if you wake up in the morning and you just smile, your day is going to become a better day? I don't care what you got going on in your life right now. If you just start smiling more, you're going to have more people attracted to you. Because people ask, why do you always smile? Because I'm happy. I don't care what I'm dealing with. I'm always happy because I'm never going to let anybody ever see me down. Never. You'll never see me cry. You'll never see me down. Why? Because I always want to be excited. Because guess what? I woke up this morning. Isn't that a lot to be excited about? So when you find the little things to be excited about, when the big things come through, guess what? Just laugh about it. That's how I learned how to deal with it. I laugh at a lot of things that happen. I'm like, man, this can't be real. And guess what? I just keep going. But if you just stay stuck there and you let the things that get in the way of helping you get to where you need to go beat you up, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be stuck there trying to fight with something that you could have got over years ago. Some people are still stuck on, my spouse don't support me. My mom don't support me. Who cares? It's like me talking to my mom about business. My mom know nothing about business. She know how to cook. So I never talk money when it comes to my mom. I talk about food because she don't know nothing about money. But I talked to my stepdad because he owns a business. I talked to him about business. I talked to him about things because guess what? He knows those things. So I only talk to people about things that they're good at. Because other than that, it's just not going to lead you down the right path, right? And it's a sign of a winner, right? Are you being excited? Listen, you're growing. And when you're growing through things and you're not letting it get in the way, that's a sign that you're a winner. Because only a few amount of people can go through life and keep going, even though it's challenging. But you need to understand that in doing it, that you are well on your way to success. You got to keep going. I tell people, listen, if you're already in hell, why stop? Keep going. You're already there. Keep going. It's the light at the end of the tunnel, but you got to keep going. You got to listen. You can't let life beat you up. It's been many times where I could have thrown a towel a long time ago, but I'm like, are you serious? I didn't put in all this work for what? For what? Give up now? For what? I done sacrificed my entire 20s to give up. I know friends that started with me and now they just riding skateboards for a living. They put the shoes down and start riding skateboard and beat up mans. There's nothing wrong with that, but how you go from wanting to become a millionaire to just want to run the streets all day riding skateboards? To me, it don't make sense. And the reason why, because they stopped growing. Life got in the way and they say, you know what, man, I'm done. I'm going to just do something else, right? And guess what happened? They didn't overcome their fears. So first you got to overcome your fears. And we all have fears, right? The single biggest thing that's holding most people back from achieving their dreams would be to have fear. Fear can take many forms, including fear of the unknown, fear of what people think, fear of what action is required to get to where you're trying to get to go to, fear of failure, and even the fear of success. There's some people that's scared that they might become successful and they don't know what to do with it. So they won't even try. Some people are scared to become successful. That's wild. Do you know you could be scared to become successful? Man, I've heard it all. But unfortunately, we all suffer from some type of fear to some degree. There's things I fear too, but guess what? They're false evidence appearing real. I really don't fear anything, right? And that's the good news is that feeling fearful is not limiting you, right? Many of the people that we look up to in all walks of life have at some stage had to confront their own fears before they achieve success. Everybody had, some people fear was talking in front of stage, in front of a lot of people. 90% of people in the world are scared of public speaking. Just think about it. Growing up in school, when the teacher asked you to raise your hand, a lot of people didn't raise their hand. I'm gonna give you one secret, right? And this is how I knew I was always gonna be successful, right? The only way that I passed throughout school, because I never did homework, I never studied. I'm naturally smart, right? But what I've always done in school was this one thing. Even if I didn't know the answers, I always raised my hand. So I never failed a class because even if they passed me just till I participated. A teacher never failed me for trying. Never. I got a B in biology before I dropped out of college. And all I did was raise my hand. I didn't bought a book. Listen, when I went to college, I didn't even buy a book. Not one book. But I passed all my classes the first year. The only reason I passed is because I participated. You can't fail somebody for trying. My English teacher gave me a B also just because I tried. He like, man, he trying. He coming. Listen, I always came to class on time. I just tried. Same with ACN. I didn't know everything, but guess what? I showed up to most events than most people. I showed up to, I kept calling everything. It was like, dang, this guy he had every single event. He bringing people with him. And since the day I got involved in the business, my business never really stopped growing because I never stopped going to the events. Never. I never stopped. Because as long as you wake up and you keep going, guess what's going to happen? You're going to become successful. That's why I'm not surprised or big-headed about my quote-unquote success, because it wasn't overnight. I didn't know how to talk to people, but I had to overcome my fears. Me doing these type of calls, I just do it. I'm still sometimes shy when I do these calls, but at the same time, you got to overcome your fears. You can't let people know, because guess what? It might be someone that's called and be like, man, one day I want to do the same thing. I want to start doing calls to people, but you first gotta grow as a person, because you can't pour from an empty cup. We can agree that after doing these calls for almost 2 years, I know every single call that I pour into someone on a call that took something from it, but I didn't pour from an empty cup. So again, you don't have to make a lot of the mistakes, right? And there's only very few people that have achieved success without having to become fear. The thing that unites us is that at some point, they decide to not let their fear hold them back. That's just the difference. Fear is the enemy of success. If you don't address it, it will control your life. And the best defense against fear is action. Action is what cures fear. So if you're scared of something, just do it. You said, I don't know how to swim, jump in the pool. You know how I learned how to become a lifeguard? By jumping in the pool. Listen, no one taught me how to swim. But my first time trying to become a lifeguard, I did it. I was on a swim team in high school. I never knew how to swim on a swim team, but I did it. Because guess what? If I'm scared of it, I'm just going to do it. Because I'm never going to live my life in fear. I'm just not. That's why even when network marketing and entrepreneurship, people are like, man, you just all in. Yeah. So what am I scared of? If you don't take no risk, you're not going to have no reward. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. When I dropped out of school and I stopped working a job and I told myself I would never punch a clock for anybody else. I don't care if you call me and say I got $100,000 right now for you to work for me. I'm not gonna do it because I like being free more than having to punch a clock for somebody else and do something that I don't like just for a piece of paper. When I know that I can put in the same amount of time, energy, and effort into having my time and my freedom. But some people are just comfortable with a steady paycheck. That's not me. It's only 52 weeks in a year. I don't want 28 paychecks. I want 365. I want a direct deposit 7 days a week. And I don't care what the amount is. I just care that it comes in. But guess what? It first got to start with you moving to action. Have you ever noticed that when you take action and do what you fear anyway, the fear is often quickly dispersed, and what we fear turned out to be not as bad as we thought it is, right? And then some of the most common fears confronted by some people in network marketing are what? The fear of the phone, contacting people. You're scared to pick up your phone and call people, but you pick up your phone and call people and talk about things that's really not important or it's really going to help you get to exactly where you're trying to go to every single day. When it comes time to talk about business or changing your life, you're scared to talk to other people because you're scared what your friends and your family members might think about you changing. I'm the black sheep in my family, literally. I'm different. They look at me weird. When I make smoothies and I don't eat meat and things like that, they just look at me like, man, you are different. Because I don't care what people think about me. They laugh at me. People laugh at me for eating healthy. People will laugh at you for eating healthy. So people will laugh at you for eating healthy. People will laugh at you for anything. You got the fear of rejection. People scared to get rejected. Listen, men, we used to rejection, right? It is what it is. We all got rejected. That's how some of us got so good at the age we got now because we've been rejected so much. It's only so much you can say. So you got to get good with rejection, right? Women, they might have a hard time being rejected. That's just what it is because they're not used to it, right? So the fear what people think, right? Fear change. Some people are scared of change. You got to change. Listen, if things don't change, nothing changes, right? Fear of failure. There's no such thing as failure because failure to me is learning. You never really fail, you just learn. In most cases, fear is perception-driven rather than fact-driven, right? It's false evidence appearing real. When action is taken regardless of the fear is quickly diminished because we now see the reality rather than the perception. See, most people, the fear in their mind stops them from actually taking the action in real life. And when they actually take the action in real life, they realize, oh man, this wasn't bad so far. We all had it happen before, right? The challenge is that it can be easier said than done. But understand that if you want to achieve your dreams, you must firstly be honest with yourself and identify what your fears are. And secondly, take action. And to end the call today, most people who achieve success are not extraordinary people. They just do ordinary things, right? And people who've done extraordinary things decide to take action in the face of their fear, and it's one such extraordinary thing. Meaning that, listen, at the end of the day, I love fear because if you wasn't scared of anything, you want to be pushed to get better, to keep going. But listen, without challenge, you don't grow. You don't want a quote unquote easy life because if you get the thing about people that have an easy life, you know, growing up, they got a tough life when they get older because they got it so easy. They had no challenge. But because me, my entire life, I had to change. I had to adapt. I had to do all of these things at a young age. Even though I'm 29, I'm really like 49, 59 when it comes to my mindset. And it's because I had to go through these things at such a young age. And instead of running from it, I ran through it. It is what it is. I'm not scared. I know I'm going to be successful. I've been put in the universe. I told my mom at a young age, I'm going to become a millionaire. And still to this day, I'm not going to stop until the millions of dollars are coming in on a consistent basis. Why? Because guess what? I already got the mindset. That's why network marketing is easy to me because guess what? Everything is easy to me. And the only reason why it is because I said it is. So at the end of the day, you can say something is hard or you can say something is easy. But at the end of the day, whatever you say it is what it's going to turn out to be. And I'd rather things be easy than be hard. But it's all in your mindset. first you got to change your mindset. If you don't change your mindset, you're going to be stuck doing the same thing in the same position, in the same house, the same car, doing the same thing. If you want change, today is the best day to make that change happen. So again, I thank you all for being on the call today. I want to pass the call back to you, Mr. Thomas.